Hi everyone. In today's clip, I will talk a little bit about supplement requirements. Just a reminder that anything I post here is not meant to diagnose or cure anything and is for informational use only. For any health-related matters, please consult your healthcare provider. So supplements are everywhere. Pills, powders, gummies, promising better health. The global supplement industry is worth hundreds of billions of dollars. But here's the real question. If you eat healthy, balanced diet, do you really need them? So we all agree a well-balanced diet is the best source of nutrients. Whole foods provide vitamins, minerals, fiber, and bioactive compounds that supplements simply can't replicate. For example, fruits and vegetables deliver antioxidants and phytonutrients that work better in ways that no pill can match. So doctors say if you eat nutritious food, fruits, vegetables, whole grains, you don't need a multivitamin or supplement. After all, what did our ancestors do? They just had their regular nutrition through food and lived reasonably happy and healthy lifestyle. In orthomolecular medicine, we challenge that assumption. Our approach focuses on creating the optimal molecular environment in the body using nutrients in the right amounts, not just the minimum sort of to avoid deficiency, but enough to achieve peak health. And before I argue my point, I need to give you a bit of background in where this is coming from. So substances that are considered orthomolecules include vitamins, minerals, amino acids, fatty acids, and cholesterol, enzymes, hormones, neurotransmitters, and other naturally occurring substances that are utilized in metabolic activity, as well as dietary proteins, carbohydrates, and fats, which are macronutrients, are also relevant to this practice. So orthomolecular medicine covers everything from understanding how these nutrients work to figuring out the right amounts for each person and applying that knowledge to prevent or treat health problems. This knowledge contains nutrition, nutrigenomics, and nutrigenetics, which are the studies of how your genes interact with food you eat. In simple terms, it looks at how nutrients and diet can influence the way your genes work and how your genetic sort of makeup can affect what foods are best for you. It also covers biochemistry, which is the science of that studies the chemical processes and substances inside living things. It goes through cell biology, which is the branch of biology that studies cells and their basic sort of building blocks of the living things. It goes to pharmacology, which is the science of how drugs interact with the body and how the body responds to them, as well as how the drugs interact with each other or the drugs interact with other substances. It goes into physiology, which is the science of how the body works, or in simple terms, it explains how organs, tissues, and cells function together to keep us alive. It covers processes like breathing, blood circulation, digestion, and how our muscles move. It's basically the mechanics of life, how everything operates inside us, and also toxicology, which looks at what chemicals or drugs can do to our bodies, especially when taken in too high of a dose or in unsafe conditions. It explains how toxins sort of enter the body, move through it and damage the body, and what can be done to prevent or treat that damage. So basically studying the poisons and harmful substances. This is definitely not a new science and has been around longer than I have been on Earth. So going back to the question of the need for supplementation, unfortunately, we do not live in the same environment as our ancestors did. We don't live in the same environment as our parents did. Modern diets, even healthy ones, even if we completely stay away from simple sugars and processed food, which is a bit of a stretch because we can't really say we can completely eliminate that, face many challenges. We have soil depletion, which has undeniably reduced mineral content in our produce. pesticides, preservatives, waxes, additives, artificial colors, artificial sweeteners, artificial oils, bleaching, heat treatment, modified atmosphere packaging or MAP, which are the gases inside the packages to slow down the spoilage, antimicrobial washes with chlorine and peracetic acid, irradiation, thiabenzodial or imazalil applied to the as a fungicide, convenience foods, early crop harvesting, chemical sprays to keep them looking fresh, processing and storage, air quality, perfumes, hair products, hairsprays, chemicals in shampoos, toothpaste, hair dyes, chemical cleaners, EMF, and so much more that I have not mentioned or even touched the surface, has either stripped nutrients from the food and environment or require antidotes to get rid of these poisons we ingest, breathe, and apply. And this is just to name a few. No matter how you look at it, you would need to eat 10 times the amount, if not more, that your parents did to ever even meet the recommended daily allowance only. So lifestyle we have created has and high stress has increased nutrient demands as well, which cannot possibly be met by what we eat. I need to emphasize that recommended daily allowance or dietary allowance, RDA, only prevents deficiency. This is not necessarily for optimized health. For us today, therapeutic levels of nutrients need to be much higher than RDAs to restore biochemical balance and prevent ailments. Vitamins, minerals, amino acids, and fatty acids act as cofactors in thousands of biochemical reactions. When levels are suboptimal, metabolism slows, immunity weakens, and mental health suffers as well. So correcting these imbalances can improve energy resilience and even reduce risk factors for chronic disease. So do you need supplements if you eat healthy? Absolutely yes, because healthy eating doesn't guarantee optimal nutrient status. Supplements, when used wisely and individually, can help create the right molecular environment for vibrant health. This is about having the right molecules in the right amounts. However, I would not suggest for anyone to do so haphazardly. Please consult someone who can determine what you actually need and keep an eye on you as the needs sort of change. In simple terms, just like anything else, too much of what we don't need can be harmful. So we need water, but if you don't need to drink sort of 2 gallons of it or a few gallons of it a day. Your healthcare provider will have an understanding of how nutrients sort of affects your health and how vitamins and minerals influence energy, immunity, and mental well-being. They will find the right dose for each person, as everyone is absolutely different, and your genetics, lifestyle, environment, and stress levels can actually change what you need. And they will use supplements as tools to help fill the gap in preventing and treating illnesses naturally and promoting optimal health, not just normal health. So having said all this, please read the ingredients on your supplements diligently. Just because they are called supplements or the health food store has them on the shelf doesn't guarantee them being health promoting. Hope this has been helpful. Like and follow for more. Be the light.